Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Thursday, June 26, 2025. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. Asian session were very quiet, so no data were published overnight. And the next data we have here is the German consumer climate, which is lower than expected. -20 was the previous number, actual number -20.3. ECB de Guidos will give a speech at 11:45, and then we got the Bank of England Governor Bailey to give a speech at 1 o'clock. At the same time, we got the ECB Schnabel to give a speech from the ECB. Major event of the day is the core durable good orders, scheduled for release at 2:30, together with the GDP of the USA and initial jobless claims. So we got all of this data in one time. Then we have the wholesale sales from Canada, and 15 minutes later, FOMC member Daly will give a speech. At 4 o'clock, we got the pending home sales from the US, and at 6 o'clock, we got 7-year note auction. At 8:30, there's a scheduled speech of the ECB President Christine Lagarde, and then at the end of the day, at 10:30, we got Fed's balance sheet. So, pretty intense US session, almost non-event European session, US session, London session. So, without any further ado, let's switch to the technical part of this review, and we start with euro-dollar. The euro-dollar for our chart has made another swing high at the level of 1.1718, and as expected, this situation here will expand to the upside, because that was just the wave 4 of the overall wave 5. So we are narrowing wave 5. Right now, you can see that we are making higher highs on the chart. Okay, fine. Yeah, we are making higher highs. However, the momentum doesn't actually make higher highs. So we have right now perfect bearish divergence between wave 3 high and wave 5. So let me just remove this one, because we all know what it is, this Elliott wave cycle, and let me just label this cycle for you guys. So basically, it looks like we got the wave 1 is here, let's say, wave 2 is here, wave 3 is here, wave 4 has ended somewhere around this level. It's a little bit lower, there you go. So this is the wave 4, and now we are making the wave 5. So all of this situation here is, of course, the lesser degree. So eventually we are just trying to make the wave 5 in 5 ways on the euro-dollar for our time frame chart. Please remember, now this will be removed, and of course those two levels will now be the technical support levels. However, they should be violated quite quickly. Very interesting pin bar candle at the top of the move. It looks like the wave 5 might be completed, or might be very, very close to completion. So please keep an eye on the current situation on the euro dollar. We got some data from the USA, so US dollar versus the Japanese yen is a must for analysis. Not much is going on here. We hit the 100 periods moving average, we retraced a little bit, then we went down, back down again, and now we are at the ends of the day and the lows of the day and the lows of the week, right? So next target, obviously, the demand zone located between 141.96, 142.37. Momentum is negative already. It's pointing very sharply to the downside. So we should see there is still some room to the downside. There's plenty of room here. We should see global weakness of the US dollar versus the Japanese yen and the US dollar index, which is why we are looking at the US dollar index, and the US dollar index is weak as well. We broke below the technical support from the June 12th, 97.57. So now it's a technical resistance, and a very interesting candle was made here. Yeah, you got some kind of a pin bar at the end of this move into the extremely oversold conditions. So maybe, just maybe, it's the time for a kind of a bounce. So we should see the future movement down on the euro dollar, movement down on the British pound, and a little bit little bit of a pullback on the US dollar index. However, it doesn't actually mean this downside movement has been completed. Quite opposite. It looks like this movement to the downside is a little bit accelerating, but first some sort of the pullback is needed on the US dollar index. If we switch to daily, you can see we have not been as low as it is even in 2024. This is the lowest level in years, the lowest level since this is 2023. So right now it looks like the US dollar index is weakening across the board. Multi-year lows of the US dollar index. How about the crude oil? And on the daily time frame chart of the crude oil, we have a big movement to the downside. Bearish engulfing pattern, very massive bearish engulfing pattern down towards the technical support. And this technical support quite actually works quite well actually, because it's at 64.10. And that's why we went from 78 to 64 towards the extremely oversold market conditions. You can see it right now that even if we apply some kind of a trend line here to the lows here, and you can see that this might work quite well. There you go, that's your trend line. So any breakout below the trend line and below the technical support, let me just even place this our favor arrow. Yes, any breakout below technical support below the trend line is very bearish, and we might see the crude oil for $60 per barrel, or even we may test the beginning of the May levels at 55.32. So very interesting developments on the crude oil, completely unexpected movement to the downside. Big sell-off. I'm just wondering how it looks on the weekly. Oh, weekly looks very bad. And look at this, 100 weeks moving average, testing, rejection. And if you take a look at the weekly time frame, since the high in 2022, post-COVID peak, 130, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower high, 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 lower high. So multi-year trend since 2022, kind of a down with occasional spikes to the upside, but generally crude oil trend is down, my friends. Okay. Last but not least, let's take a look. This time we are going to take a look at the Ethereum. Ethereum, not the Bitcoin, because Ethereum is looking bullish. We broke above the short-term trend line. Then we tested, and now the Ethereum is trying to break above 100 periods moving average on a 4-hour time frame chart, which is 2,521. Momentum is strong, momentum is positive, so we can label this low as our technical support, swing low and technical support, 2,115. That's fine, and we are trying to move higher. Obviously, any breakout above 2,700, 800, 900, the big supply zone is obviously bullish. Let me just apply last thing to this situation, which is obviously the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, maybe something like this and this one here. So you can see we retraced 50%. Very big level. Okay, I got it upside down, but 50% is here anyway, right? So right now is to be or not to be for the bulls, whether they will move to the upside or they will just throw a towel, and then the reversal will happen after the test of the 100 periods moving average. If they will not be able to break above the 100 periods moving average, then the short-term outlook for the Ethereum is to the downside. Otherwise, we should see sooner or later 2,700, 800, 900 level test. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.